Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to showcase to you one of the new legendary introduced in Season 3 that in my opinion is a bit underrated. And I want to use Goblin in particular to showcase to you what this champion can do, but it can be applicable in many other content and we're going to see that in a minute. So let me jump straight into Goblin Lair, and as you can see I'm doing 3-3, which is the maximum level you can do obviously. And I'm 3-starring with this comp. I'm using FATHOMDOWN, which is the new champion we're going to talk about today. It's a new tank for the lightning affinity that has an incredible aura, very useful in this case in particular. Increase allies attack by 45% in dungeon battles. Has a passive when the hero has 50%. The hero has 50% chance of reducing the current damage taken by 50% when taking damage, and heal themselves by 8% max HP. This effect can only be triggered once every 3 seconds. Now, this is very good in Goblin Lair. We're not taking a lot of damage. The goblins are constantly hitting you, and every time they hit you, he has 50% chance of taking less damage, and also when taking damage, he can heal back. So you don't need to build him as tanky as you would do with other tanks. He doesn't have crazy good defensive stats neither. He's only level 90 for me at the moment, and yet is able to do this content very easily and very well. Let me actually load the full gear so you can see what we're using over here. I have him with the Witch's Remain because his passive is absolutely bonkers. So his battle skills: gains debuff immunity for 5 seconds and deal 360 attack lightning damage to enemy within range, and has a 100% chance of inflicting knock up and a 75% chance of inflicting stun on them for 3 seconds. Very good for crowd controls. And when I'm looking at the skills, I'm thinking more Pillar and Famey under. He's going to be really good for those waves. In particular, Pillar, in my opinion, for the lightning. It is probably one of the best tank we have. And his ultimate is where his top value comes, in my opinion. He casts a spell for 8 seconds. Summoning lightning bolt to strike random enemy every 1 second. In the meantime, dealing 100% attack lightning damage to the target and all enemy nearby with a 75% chance of inflicting attack penalty 2 on them for 5 seconds, reducing their ultimate energy by 5%. So every 1 second the lightning strikes 8 times, but it hits also the surrounding enemy, the nearby enemy. So basically what is happening is that when he's going to cast this skill, if it timed properly, it will basically hit 2 waves in the goblin, because it will keep going for 8 seconds. Every second the lightning with strikes hitting the enemies nearby. So you can apply decreased attack and decreased defense basically on 2 waves by just using one ultimate skill. So it's board wise, so when you hit 1 wave and you kill it, you're gonna get to the next one, and it's basically already placing decreased attack and decreased defense. You're gonna see that in the background when I'm gonna put up video up later. But yeah, it is absolutely incredible. You can build it more tanky than what I've done over here, because basically I went for a bit of attack. It doesn't have a great crit rate, to be honest, or crit damage, but it is bringing basically a bit of damage. I haven't built defense at all on him, and he's gonna survive all the run without any trouble. Last season I was using also Perkunte for Goblin, but I had to use an enabler. I was using Shinacton as pseudo tank. It was built very tanky, and it was taking a lot of damage. FATHOMDOWN doesn't take any damage whatsoever, at least from what I can see in my runs and what you're going to see in the video behind. But the next champion I want to talk about is Perkunte, because in this season they introduced one of the artifacts, the new epic artifact, that has for me changed the way I view Thunderbolt completely. To use Perkunte, I need to use Shinacton, as I said, to activate his passive and build up his damage and place that electrocute debuff on the enemy, because building accuracy, building crit rate, crit damage and attack was a bit too much to get one champion functional. But this time, this season, they introduced this amazing artifact, the slingshot, which is absolutely incredible for champions like Perkunta. Basically gives you attack and accuracy, 72 accuracy, and the wearer gains additional 8 attack for every 1 accuracy they have. Now, this means that you can basically almost forget your attack, as long as you have the right runes and gear, obviously. Build your crit rate, build your crit damage. Here is not even that high, to be honest. And build accuracy. You're going to transform that accuracy into attack, and you're going to do a lot of damage. So I've built him with the new sets that basically gives you transformed your crit damage into attack. This makes this champion slap pretty hard. I have 192 accuracy. I can transform that 8 times into attack, and then every crit damage on this champion is going to be transformed into attack as well, making him do a lot of damage. Now, the gear is still pretty crap. We are early in the season. It's still running like a level 12 attack, negative runes with no crit rate. When I'm going to push for better gear, this is going to be even better. But nevertheless, this comp is able to do stage 3-3, so I'm not going to complain. Then I have Zalot. I build him with high attack. I'm using this new gloves that I got from the chest we got as a compensation. He is good. He's doing his job. Nothing crazy. I have Dane. Build also for damage. Very low crit rate. Higher crit damage because I have a crit damage glove. I'm using the Rivertrix route. But again, the crit rate is incredibly low. And I'm using Yola with a bit of crit rate, a different gear set that enhance derivative damage that she doesn't do. So really doesn't do much for me. But I had an attack glove, so I've just used that. I don't have any other crit damage or crit rate, so I had to go with what I have. I only have so far one attack chest piece, which I believe I might be using on one of my champions. Yes, it's here, and it doesn't have any good substats, so the gear is really crap, as I said. But let me play in the background the video about the run so you can see what I'm talking about. You're gonna see the champions basically taking on the first wave, and then the FATHOMDOWN ultimate will basically start hitting everybody even on the second run. And because I postponed the skills from Zalot and Perkunta, they basically gonna start hitting the second wave straight away, getting rid of that one very quickly too. And this is gonna repeat wave after wave. When FATHOMDOWN is gonna use his ultimate, basically the other are going to do enough damage to take down that wave very quickly, so that the ultimate lasting for 8 seconds is gonna basically pass to the next wave, and we're gonna be able to take down wave after wave in less than a minute. I believe my best time is 57 seconds. He's repeating very often that time, even with such a low crit rate, because the hits are multiple for most of this champion, and so it kind of balance out. And he's a very good comp in my opinion. Yes, so getting back to FATHOMDOWN, I believe this champion is going to be really good for a lot of content, not just for Goblin Lair. This is just, you know, an example, a showcase, what I'm doing right now with him at only level 90. When I'm going to be able to level him even higher and to push for the late stage of Pillar and Fae, I'm sure he's going to be one of the champions I'm going to look for. It's a shame that in Season 3 we don't have stun set, because this champion in a stun set with the Witches Remain would have been absolutely menace. It would have taken care of waves with no trouble whatsoever, stunning everyone, keeping their turn meter down, applying decreased attack, applying decreased defense. It would have been so suppressive. And I imagine one of the reasons why they took it off is because they introduced champions like this that do board-wise multiple hits that would have been a bit broken in the stun set. Nevertheless, this is pretty much everything for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the content, and if you did, please consider liking and subscribing. I'm gonna see you soon with another video about Dragonheir Silence God, guys. Have a nice day.